Good morning, good day. What's good? How are you guys doing? Big up to all of you. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Morning. And yes, thank you, 250 subscribers, guys, on the road to 300 subs. Get in, smash the likes and subscribe. And if you're new, guys, don't forget, hit the notification bell because the transfer scoops and the scouting reports are coming stat. And I mean, Emma. Always, every morning and every day, you're going to get these updates and it's coming. And for those of you who don't know, I'm your boy, MarkN, MUFC fan. And yes, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, but you know, I live in Germany. I'm a huge Manchester United fan, but generally a football fan. So I'm going to be talking about everything in what I would say is a balanced opinion. Guys, for those of you who want to know, there's going to be some information I'm going to bring to you about different things that happened before and stuff that's possibly happening right now. But don't forget to smash those likes and subscribe. Get in, guys. Let's get ready for the show. Guys, look at the information coming up right now. For those of you who don't already know this, or for those of you who might already know, this is just me bringing the information. So those who don't know will have a clear idea on what's happening. Guys, as you look at the information, that's Dan Ashworth. Manchester United paid a £10 million compensation fee to acquire Dan Ashworth from Newcastle. And for you, those of you who want to know the details, well, here they are. Manchester United forked out the £10 million to secure the services of Dan Ashworth from Newcastle. Earlier this week, United and Newcastle issued a joint statement confirming his imminent arrival. Guys, this is the new main director of football at the club. United's pursuit was initiated in February, guys, and yes, it is completed because right after Sir Jim Ratcliffe completed his 27.7 partial investment in the club, reports heavily linked us to the Newcastle boss. Back then, the Red Devils approached Newcastle for their executive, who in turn informed the bosses at St James's Park of his desire to join the Ratcliffe's project. The Magpies replied by placing the 53-year-old on a 6-month gardening leave. It's believed that Newcastle were initially demanding an unrealistic compensation package worth £20 million to let him circumvent his notice period and start work at United immediately. Ineos made it clear they had no intentions of parting with such a sum of money for a non-playing personnel. As a previous report covered, the People's Person relayed that Newcastle reduced their asking price to £50 million plus add-ons for their transfer and recruitment guru, but even then United were only willing to part with £3 million. To unlock the stalemate, however, over his future, Ashwood was even prepared to take his employers to arbitration. In their joint statement, Newcastle and United stated that the terms of Ashwood's release would remain disclosed. However, Matt Hughes of iNews revealed that an acrimonious and potentially costly legal battle with United over Dan Ashwood has been settled, with United receiving a compensation, with Newcastle receiving a compensation of £10 million from their former sporting director. And in a surprise announcement on Thursday, the club confirmed the appointment of high-caliber replacement Paul Mitchell, who has not cost them a penny beyond wages. Newcastle's Saudi Arabian owners set the tone in their response to Ashworth's desire to move, and as a result have become more involved in other areas of football business, particularly Mitchell's appointment. Chairman Yassi Al-Ramyan was adamant that Ashworth would only be allowed to leave on Newcastle's terms, as he felt personally affronted by the former FA technical director's professions of ignorance, a feeling exacerbated by when he regarded as Sir Jim Ratcliffe's insulting first compensation offer of £2 million. An attempt by Ratcliffe to smooth things over by courting Newcastle director Amanda Staveley in April was given short shrift by her employers, who made it clear Ashwood would only be allowed to leave when they received a suitable offer, which finally arrived last Sunday. With Ashworth now firmly in place, United are likely to accelerate their transfer movement and activities in the market. At the moment, the 20-time English champions seem primarily focused on sealing deals for Dutch duo Joshua Zirkzee and Matthijs de Ligt. Both are currently with the Netherlands national team ahead of their Euro 2024 clash versus Turkey. Guys, I hope this information was valuable to you. Let's get into two other reports really quickly. I just wanted to bring this to the stage because, as we know, we are heavily linked to signing Joao Neves. Man United have made a final bid of £59 million to sign the born leader, and they don't want to pay any more money. Now, this may not include the possibility of add-ons, but this is what is affronted and reported so far, right? Red Devils are aiming to bolster the defensive midfield department this summer, and they have identified multiple targets in this position. And one of those targets are none other than Portugal's Joao Neves. Neves is one of those United failed with a £51 million bid to sign earlier last month. And a record claimed that the club have followed up with a £59 million offer. I have been speaking about this guy, so you should already know that I spoke about this offer that went out. And it should be very interesting should it be accepted, but I'm thinking that it probably will be declined. The 19-year-old currently has a $100 million and $2 million release clause in his contract, and Benfica president Rui Costa determined to keep him for the 24-25 season. It's really interesting. A summer exit has not been entirely ruled out, but it is claimed that it would require at least £85 million for the Premier League giants to contemplate his departure. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? I hope it's pretty interesting to you. I don't know if it's going to be happening, but I would personally say that this is very possible because, as we know, the new owners would definitely want to have a marquee signing this summer, and I think all the signings we are doing and linked to currently are very, very good quality. You know, I know some of you may not agree with certain signings, but at the end of the day, I think we need to rebuild. We need to facilitate squad depth first and then sign the key players in each position after that would really make the squad an amazing squad. And I think it's going to take at least another 2 windows to add those players. So right now it's going to be, I think it's decent for now. Neves would be a statement signing for United. The youngster had a fantastic breakthrough season campaign with Benfica last term. He was brilliant from the number 6 role and was ever present for the whole season. Neves had a passing accuracy of 90% with 2 tackles and 6 duels won per appearance. He made 6.4 recoveries on average, completing 62% of his take-ons. At just 19, Neves has shown plenty of maturity, and Costa has described him as a born leader. United can make a statement by bringing him to Old Trafford, but it may require a higher fee to pursue Benfica into sanctioning the youngster's transfer. With the Red Devils' limited transfer budget, a renewed offer could be doubtful. They could turn their attention to Paris Saint-Germain's Miguel Ugarte. Guys, you already know that we are very much interested in Miguel Ugarte, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the results are in a few days when we actually do get an update on what's happening with him. We know his transfer has been progressing, but guys, he's been playing in the Copa America, and in the last game versus the United States, he came off with an injury. So there might be a little bit of, doubt on his fitness. But I would say to you guys, if the transfer is going to be done, it would definitely be done in the next few weeks. We know that he's already interested in the move, and there's no secret that he would be willing to join Manchester United. The price and his club, Paris Saint-Germain, are open to having him move on, and the price seems to be something that United are willing to pay. Now, let's go into some other news because it's really interesting, some reports that are coming out over the last couple hours. And as we know, it's not something that we are trying to force, but at the same time, the news is out there. And Manchester United are playing down attacker exit talk. And then we are talking about Marcus Rashford. Manchester United have played down talk of Marcus Rashford leaving the club this summer. According to Sky Sports News, Rashford had a dreadful season last season at Old Trafford and several issues off the field concerning his discipline. There have been a talk at Manchester United could listen to offers for the striker if he wants to leave the club in the ongoing transfer window. There were claims this week that Manchester United are ready to sell the forward, with Paris Saint-Germain interested in signing him this summer. However, talk over Rashford's exit from Old Trafford in the coming days and weeks have been played down. The England international is still seen as a valuable member of the squad going forward at Manchester United. The club are focused on getting him back to his best next season, given his importance to the team. Erik ten Hag will soon have Rashford back as players prepare to return for preseason training in the coming days. And we know that last season he signed a new 5-year deal and is one of the highest paid players in the squad. But there's no there's no smoke without fire, guys. So don't be shy. Don't be shocked if you hear that there's some talk about an exit this summer, because as you know, we're in dealings with Paris Saint-Germain, and it could be very possible. Big up to you guys coming in. Thank you for smashing the likes. You know, we're on a I think we're not on a Martinez yet, but hopefully we can get there. Stephanie, what's going on? Hopefully Ashford can prove his 10 million acquisition straight away with the first couple of transfers for us. I 100% agree with that statement. I think, you know, with the current recruitment that we have and some of the officials that are coming in, I think definitely he will be afforded that opportunity and probably might do something surprising. We heard that he wants to raise a possible 200 million in sales. If he can do it, then, you know, he does what he says, and we'll have to give him credit for that. If Neves cannot get into the Portugal team, should we spend that large sum of money? Well, in a way, Yali, I can't really say based on the fact that he can't get into the team. I would say that, you know, if you look at their manager, I think he's not that creative. He's not that risk or much of a risk taker. So he would settle for someone more like a experienced player. You can see it throughout the tournament. And I think that's most of the reason why he couldn't land a spot, because this manager is kind of afraid to play players and change things up, in my opinion, to be fair. Big up to you, Richard Hawkins, coming in. I hope you are well. Good morning to you, GB. What's good, broski? Hope all is well. Madhouse, what's good? What's good? Neves hasn't convinced you for the price. Well, I mean, I don't think he's actually 70 million pounds, in my honest opinion. I do think, however, he could be worth that in the future. I definitely think we're going to be paying at least 20 to 30 million over the odds for the player, because we know Benfica, they don't want to sell the player. So it's going to be difficult to acquire him. But I would think that it's one of those deals that if it was to be the only deal at that price this summer, I would not be too mad at it, because in a year or two, he could be a player worth 100 million, because he has the ability. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's good and it's bad. Hopefully we can get somewhere in the middle so we're not too upset. Yeah, but you know, GB, I think Ugarte is coming regardless. I think we're going to sign at least two midfielders in that position. I think Ugarte is definitely going to be coming in. I think that deal is lined up, and almost, you know, they're just hashing out the terms, just like what they did with the Delete deal, which the terms have been said to all been agreed thus far. And it's one of those things where, you know, you're waiting for the player to conduct his medical or have a time that they can book medicals so that they can make the official announcement for these deals. I think it's almost a similar case with Xerxes, apart from the Xerxes situation with the agent. I think, you know, if you're getting Xerxes at a 34 million euro release clause, you're paying the agent 8 million on top of that, so it's bang on back in the region somewhere of 34 million pounds. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not too appreciative of the deal, but what can we say? It's not going to be as expensive as what we signed Hoyland for. And he has shown that he has the ability to probably excel. So it's something that we might be willing to do. Big up to the guys coming in. PSG definitely need a replacement for Mbappe. And you know what I'm thinking? Big up to you, Richard Hawkins. I think Rashford, you know, in one thing, I'm not going to say that I think Rashford is not a good player, but I just think that he needs to focus on football and he could perform better. He has all the mechanics, and it's up to him whether he chooses to be his best or not, because at the end of the day, no one could walk the road that you have to walk in your shoes. So I would say it like that. Big up to you. Thank you so much for that, Richard Hawkins. I will be posting updates there as well. Big up to you, Mental Ball Game. Hope you're well, my brother. Hope all is good. Yeah, I think PSG is also very much interested in Nico Williams, but there has been some rumors that Chelsea and Arsenal are also trying to get his signature. And let's face it, you know, in one way, PSG is the biggest club in France, but at the same time, I think a lot of players are really enticed by the Premier League opportunity. And yeah, Richard Hawkins, we should have never let Sabitzer go. Yes, Cantona likes the trawlers when the seagulls. 100%. I can't do the voice. Sorry, guys. Big up Abe Deliso. United, I want to Zirksi, Ugarte, Delete, Bremer, Chiesa, Guizu. and United is better for next season. Well, the only two things I would disagree with in that list is Bremer and Chiesa. I don't think Chiesa is that type of player. I've seen him too many times for Italy flop and not perform at the best of his ability. I've seen him at Juventus. He hasn't done that great. I think you need more of an impactful player with more explosive ability because, you know, if it's one thing, you're a silky player, but if you're a silky player and you're ineffective as well, it makes it really difficult for you to translate to a much more physical, quicker paced league. I think it's going to be difficult if we sign him. I'd love Neves at United, just not at the position. Further up the field probably would be good for him. I think it's interesting, GB. I think maybe we might play it as a double pivot because he is like a hybrid at the end of the day. He can also play the 8 role, so it's one of those things where it might be an option for us. You know what I'm saying, bro? Yeah, I mean, all the United players for me is like one of those things where you have to like all of the players because you watch the club, you support the club, and at the same time, you know, you want the players to give their all on the field. Like that's all we can ask for. You know what I mean? It's up in the air whether a player is going to be a 10 out of 10 today or tomorrow, any day of the week. You know what I mean? We just hope that they give their best, and if they give their best on the field, I think with the effort and performance and their ability, they would always be an average 7 or above. But if you can't have that from a player, then it's sometimes when you might have to be thinking about moving them on at the same time. I like Liao, but there are moments, GB, where I think he's very ineffective because he's a little bit too laid back. You know, like he had the beating of Jules Koundé yesterday against France, but he never went in for that killer blow. You know what I mean? It's like he goes and like he's playing. It's like a cat with a mouse sometimes. You know, like instead of just doing the business, like they're playing, and then the mouse escapes. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I really and truly was a bit disappointing in Rafael Leao yesterday. I think he should have had at least a goal and assist yesterday, and I think his performance goes and comes throughout the match. But he's definitely a major talent. I wanted him at United before, but I would settle for this youngster coming up at Borussia Dortmund, who's also an Englishman, and his name is is Jeremy Bino Gittins. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he plays for the England under 20, and man, he's 6'3". He's got some pace. He can dribble. He's very physical. I think he has all the intensity and a mentality that would make Man United fans really proud to have him in the team. But there's also options that we have for free, as if the fans are willing to forgive the option, because I think we have Mason Greenwood, and I think if we put him on the left or on the right side anytime, we're going to get a very good performance with effective output. But you know, it's up in the air whether fans want him back or not. If the board decides to take the risk, or is the possibility of rival fans complaining bigger than giving someone a second chance? In my opinion, definitely Nacho Lini. I think this is going to happen. I'm going to bring some information to the fore right now as you're saying that about that. Let's run through this like broad spectrum bits of information about transfers. It's not really Manchester United only focus, but it has a bit of news on it. So let's bring that to the table. I've heard some reports that Jadon Sancho is all but ready to take a pay cut in order to leave. So it might be interesting to see what's happening. So let's run into this little article here. And this article will talk about Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, a bit of players that might be interesting. And uh, they are expected to get busier and busier this summer's transfer window with clicks into action. The Gunners are interested for a move for Bologna defender Riccardo Calafori and are now said to be closing in on a deal with the Italian club, having reportedly already struck an agreement with the player himself. It continues to be a busy summer for the Blues as well. They have bought 5 players to the club already and are now said to be ready to pay Swiss side FC Basel 11 million for a defender called Renato Vega, who captains the Portugal under-20. And if you guys don't know who Renato Vega is, he's almost as good, if not, I can't say better, but he's almost as good as Nuno Mendes, who played for Portugal last night. I've seen him many times. He's very, very clinical. He's decisive on the ball. He's definitely a leader, guys. You know what I mean? Man United may have recently backed Ten Hag with the new contract and are ready to provide him with new signings. Joshua Zirkzee continues to be linked, and fresh reports claim the striker has agreed terms over a move to Old Trafford. right? And you know, guys, it's going to be really interesting because there's some other reports that are linking us with different players as well. And you know, for me, I know a lot of players, a lot of fans might be interested in this guy, Federico Chiesa, but I'm telling you guys, we should not get him at Manchester United. I've watched him. I'm a huge fan of Italian football, and I watch Italy. I back them for the Euros every single time since I was a child. And bro, I've seen this guy too many times, and I'm telling you, he's not worth the problem. The biggest problem with the Joshua Zirkzee acquisition, guys, is the Asian fees. But I think over the last few hours, Manchester United has come to some agreement on terms with that, and I think the green light is about to be given for this deal to be pushed through. And as we know, he has a £34 million release clause, so it's not going to take much more than triggering that, and the player is going to be ours because there's already been an agreement on personal terms with the player. Erik ten Hag has been in direct contact with him as well as Matthias de Ligt. So those are two signings that you could kind of consider to be done. There's some information coming in that Man United might be ready to hijack this deal with Ricardo Calafiori, but I cannot confirm right now. There's some few rumblings coming around in Germany at the moment, and I'm hoping that we actually do that because this guy is very versatile. He's physical. He's 6'2". He got an engine like a monster, bro. And I'm telling you guys, if we was to hijack this deal, it would be just like the Lisandro Martinez season when we hijacked him from Arsenal in Erik ten Hag's first season. Guys, it's going to be very interesting to see what we do. And I'm telling you now, we need to be on it. We need to be on our P's right now. 100%. You know, I don't really think so. Kind of reminds you of Nani, yes? 100%, bro. 100%. But the different thing is that with Nani still had a little bit more output. You definitely know that on a game when he was on it, you were gonna get a goal. You know what I mean? Mbappe is I think there's some reports are coming out that he's suffering with a little bit of concussion syndrome. You know, he had that broken nose, and ever since then he has not been right. So they are going to do some tests on Mbappe today. I think he's probably already there doing the checks right now, and they will be checking. And you know, it's possible he might not play in the next game for France, but it's yet to be reported. So I'll keep you guys updated on that madhouse. You know what I mean? Big up. Well, my bet is beat. I took Ronaldo top scorer and Portugal to win the Euros. Mad, bro. I did the same thing. Well, obviously I didn't bet, but at the same time, bro, I feel your pain. It's frustrating. You know what I mean? Leao has, yeah, I'm telling you, like I feel like Leao, like, but you know what? The thing with Rafael Leao is I feel like he might rise to the challenge. That's the weird thing. But it's going to be a risk if we were to sign him, in my opinion. Partners for Licha and Menu need to be mental monsters. 100%. 100%. Yeah, Madhouse, he's on a downward spiral and it's not looking good, bro. Bruno, I feel sorry for Bruno last night, walking out of the tournament like that. I think he deserved to play the full 90 minutes. He probably would have had a goal. I don't know what's going on with this Portugal coach. He's doing a madness, in my opinion. Yeah, Madhouse. But you want to know something? There were a lot of big players from Italy in the Premier League thus far. So it's one of those things where you can't be too upset with them coming in. Two pens in shootouts. Yeah, I mean, Ronnie had a tough time at the tournament, guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I just feel like, what can we do? We can be upset, we can be frustrated, but at the same time, this is how it goes sometimes in sports. You know what I mean? Like, we win some, we lose some. Everyone wins and everyone loses. There's some other reports, guys. I wanted to bring to you some interesting stuff because as you know, we are looking for a striker, guys. And although we have the Joshua Zirkzee deal all but finished, there might still be some astonishing, twists and turns because at the end of the day, it might be something where we might go for an alternative striker for a cheaper price, or we might get two strikers for less money. because it's possible, because United need numbers right now. If you guys check it out, we definitely need to have a few numbers in the striking position, a few numbers in defense as well. We are going to be facing 4 competitions next season. That's a lot of games to be played. And don't forget, there's still going to be internationals in between. So, because the World Cup is coming up and qualifying will begin. So we need to have players ready and fit and available to back up players who might be missing due to having to play for their nations or injury, guys, because you cannot predict and cannot really guarantee that no players aren't going to get injured, no matter how fit they are, right? And I know some of you are like me watching the Euros, but I've been watching this guy for a while. And although a former German international is warning against him, I think this guy is a very decent option. He will not be in the region of 30 million euros, and he's very, how could I put it, unorthodox a striker, but he's very direct as well. He has a very good striking ability, and he shows up in good moments. You know, we seen him yesterday for Germany. He had a couple of chances really well, just missing out shyly, but he always gets himself in the right positions. He knows where to show up. And he has scored some big goals, not just for Germany, but also for Borussia Dortmund. And Manchester United have been linked with Nicholas Füllkrug, but former Germany international Markus Babbel believes that it would be a wrong move. In turn, the Reds have been advised to stay away from Füllkrug despite his impressive performances at the Euros. Germany will no longer compete in the European Championship as after being eliminated by Spain in extra time. Füllkrug scored 2 goals at the tournament, one against Scotland in their 5-1 hammering and the other in the 91st minute equalizer against Switzerland. However, the Borussia Dortmund striker could not help Nagelmann's side qualify for the semi-finals, but it won't stop Füllkrug from being linked with a move to United this summer. The striker doesn't quite fit United's signing profile due to age. Their focus will be on younger signings, 24 and under, in the future. Some will argue that an experienced striker is needed to provide support for Rasmus Højlund, although I would prefer to see United sign another young forward to compete with the Dane for a place in the team. Many feel Füllkrug could be the answer after watching the Euros this summer, but former Premier League defender and Germany international Markus Babbel believes that the striker isn't the answer for Erik ten Hag's issues in front of goal. Babbel told Bet365, as quoted, "It depends on how you want to play. If you know how you have to play with crosses, then he's perfect player, but because he's very good in the air and strong. Fans love him because he's normal. He's not a superstar. He's not doing any crazy things. So the supporters love him, and I think it's a fantastic option to have. Kai Havertz is very skillful. He's a different kind of striker. Nicholas Füllkrug is a typical number 9. He's not skillful, but he's strong in the box, and he's a perfect number 9. I'm not sure if this is a good player for a massive club like Manchester United, but he can definitely play in the Premier League." So, when I say these guys, I think, there's many options, right? And I would like to keep reminding you guys, we are going to be linked with a lot of different options. It's going to be consistently doing over the course of this transfer window. As everyone knows, Manchester United is in a rebuild, right? And we're trying to revamp the squad, so it's going to be long. You're going to be hearing a lot of different stories coming in and out and in and out. And there's going to be stories about a lot of things, but another story coming in, I don't know if you guys know, so I was just going to bring it in. I know it's not really a transfer information, but it's Man United preseason schedule. First friendly in mid-July, 3 games in the USA plus the Community Shield Day. If you guys didn't know this information, keep your ears peeled because I'm going to read it out for you right now. The clubs in English top flight are making plans for next season by arranging several Premier League preseason friendly across the globe. Manchester United endured an underwhelming 23-24 campaign as they finished 8th in the league. However, their focus now turns to preseason fixtures and as they can make preparations for a comeback in 24-25. United confirmed in February they will be returning to the United States this summer, but their opening 2 friendlies are scheduled in Europe. They will begin their preseason by playing Rosenborg in July 15th in Le Cardal Stadion. Erik ten Hag's side will then face Rangers on July 20th at Murrayfield Stadium in Edinburgh before flying to the United States for 3 exciting fixtures. The Red Devils will renew their fierce rivalry with Arsenal in their first game in the USA at the SoFi Stadium on July 28th. La Liga outfit Real Betis are scheduled to meet them on August 1st at the Snapdragon Stadium, followed by a blockbuster clash with Liverpool 3 days later in South Carolina at the Bryce Stadium. The Premier League doesn't start till August 17th, and Manchester United will also play Manchester City in the Community Shield on the 10th. The two Manchester rivals meet each other in the previous two FA Cup finals, but it was Erik ten Hag who outsmarted Pep Guardiola in May to keep his job at Old Trafford and win the FA Cup, right? So these are the preseason fixtures, guys. Let me just soup them up for you so you can see the information right here really big. The dates, right? You can snap that. Let's take a copy of that myself. So guys, you can see that this is there. This is the information. These are the friendlies that are going to be played. So if you want to catch the Reds and you're in any one of these locations, then definitely, guys, this is what's for you. I hope you guys have a great time. I might try to see if I can get myself to one of these games, but I'm not sure how possible that is right now. But definitely when the season opens, I will be there, guys. I will be there, 100%. Let's get into the chat, see what you guys are thinking. Yeah, sell McTominay, bro. I'll take 25 million and get him off the books. 25 million, I could take that 25 million and go get a player in South America that I think is just as good and will develop and is probably like 19 or 20. Yeah, I'd probably sell him. 25, 30 million, 35 million off the books, gone. Yeah, I remember Varane, bro. Varane was Sebastian Varane. Man, don't even know. Don't even know. Fulkrug is more like a Morata, but more physical, in my opinion. I think it could be a hit. That's just me, it depends. It all depends. I think, I think he's definitely better than Weghorst. 100%, 100%, 1,000 better than Weghorst. You know what I'm saying? Guys, smash the likes if you're watching, please. It really helps the channel grow. It helps it move on to the other one, and I'm trying to get to 300 likes. It's super free, guys. It's easy. You know what I mean? It's easy. Smash it up. You know what I mean? We will this season lift the Europa plus one other trophy. I 100% agree with that. That's been my prediction. I already told guys already, and if you guys haven't heard me say it, let me say it now for you. I'm predicting we're going to go 17 games unbeaten into Christmas, and everyone is going to be singing and praising because the performances are going to be amazing. I'm not just saying that because I'm overhyped. I think with the team, I think if the squad is fit, we will perform better already. I think with the additions of one or two players, we will definitely up the performance even further. And it might be interesting to see. I know some people might disagree with that because last season was very dismal. I know there's lots of moments where you felt like it just wasn't good enough. But, in a way, you kind of have to look at it from another perspective and think, some players were learning to play a new style of football they never played before. You know what I mean? Like most of the players in the squad have been playing counter-attacking football for 5 to 8, maybe 7, 6, sometimes for some even longer, like Luke Shaw, 10 years. So when you have to change the default, it's a bit difficult, right, guys? I mean, in our normal lives, changing our habits and, trying to find balance and things, it's a bit difficult. So imagine what it is for footballers who train a certain way and play a certain way for most of their entire professional career, and in their minds probably have achieved a lot of success. You know what I mean? They probably will be also against it and probably, probably also be feeling like, maybe this way is not good for them or it doesn't suit them. They know better. You never know. So there's a lot of things to go into last season that made us bad. And a lot of those things, we won't have that as part of this season going forward. Some of the players might be the same, but I think their performances will generally be better. There are lots of young players in the squad like Garnacho, like Anthony, like Højlund, you know what I mean, like Kobe Mainu. They're definitely going to improve next season. You know what I mean? And if they improve their performance, if Garnacho is 2 times more clinical next season than he was this season, I think our goal deficit won't be a deficit next season. You know what I mean? And that goes for Højlund as well. I mean, it's his first season in the Premier League. He was not in one of the best teams and most consistent teams in the league. So, and he still managed to get 10 to 15 goals over all competitions. I think it was pretty decent from the youngster. We might have paid 70 million for him and over, but what if this season he delivers, guys? What if this season a lot of these guys step up to the plate. And not to mention some of the signings we're possibly getting. How could you not think that we won't be improving? You know what I mean? Big up to you, Yarli. We all did think that Liverpool would win the Europa League and Villa would win the Conference League. They both failed big time. Let's hope we do better. Yarli, we're Man United, my brother. Of course we're gonna do better. I mean, we derailed Liverpool's season last season, didn't you remember? And didn't we beat Villa right before their clash before they played in the the Conference League or something like that? I think it was something like that. Maybe I could be wrong, but it's just my feeling, and I just feel like what, it's gonna be interesting. Just a little over a week for the first game. Yeah, bro. I wish I was able to be in Rosenborg to watch that game. To be fair, it would have been nice. You know what I mean? Probably, Rosenborg. Rosenborg is in. Is that in Denmark? Where is Rosenborg? Yeah, it's in Denmark. Man, that would have been cool. Ah, well, tough luck. Maybe better luck next time for me. But guys, what are your thoughts? Big up, big up. I think we can reach Europa semi-final, but not sure if we can win it. But FA Cup, we definitely can retain it, and the league. Let's be competitive, 100%, bro. Come on, Yali. Rosenborg. I wouldn't know, bro. Remember, I'm from the islands. You know, except for those that are living in Troydham, since it's their team. Possibly. Good information to know. I wonder if Jarvis is gonna go to that game. I think Jarvis might be at that game. But Jarvis is in Norway, right? Hopefully. Well, we'll figure that out, guys. But guys, what are your thoughts? What are the signings that you possibly expect? Is there any players that you have seen that you think you would like to get more information on? Could you drop them in the comments? Let me know. I will definitely do a scout report on them and bring the information back to you guys. Is there any players that you wish that United would be definitely signing? Some players that might be 30 to 50 million. If you guys have any ideas, let me know, because you know what, I have quite a few, but it's pretty interesting what we're doing in the market right now. I have to say it's pretty different from the Man United that I know. In my honest opinion, we have never been really linked to so many deals at once. We've always been linked to many players, but we always did deals one at a time. And it's just quite interesting that we're doing multiple deals at the same time at this moment, and we're having success, with breakthroughs, with the players, with management, with the clubs, all at the same time. And yesterday, I did bring you some information about Lenny Euro, but guys, that's really dependent on what happens and what the club decide, what the player decides. Since Real Madrid is not willing to meet their asking price, maybe the player asks for a sell-on clause or for some kind of bonus structure to be struck. You never know what could happen. So I'm not going to say to you it's possible that we get Lenny Euro, but definitely I would say to you guys that we are definitely interested if he's available for us to get him. And if he is available for us to get him, I would say that Manchester United are 60 to 70% guaranteed to be the club that will sign him if Real Madrid doesn't. I know there are links to Liverpool, but come on, guys. Who's going to sign for the Scousers over Manchester United, bro? No one, unless they're scouts. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, big up to them, guys. Manchester United are ready to beat league rivals to sign for the signing of Jaden Philogene. I don't know if you guys have known about this guy. I don't know a whole lot about him. I've only watched a few clips on YouTube, but I've been hearing lots of reports that it's possible that United might be looking to sign this guy. And it's because of Jim Ratcliffe and the scouting department. They've pretty much taken a liking to this guy. They're not sure if he's going to fit Eric Ten Hag's system, but they want to bring him to the club and see what's happening. So one of Ineos' plans is to try and bring in British players, and United are linked with a plethora of homegrown stars in recent weeks, including Jaron Bradway and Eberichi Eze, right? The only other thing I would like to highlight to you guys that the whole thing about British players is that we have a bunch of them coming through from the academy. So I won't say that you should be like, okay, we're going to buy a bunch of British players. Like, I think we're going to bring in some because we definitely need to always have that homegrown quota filled to an extent. And possibly there might be an amazing talent as well. But, you know, we definitely have players coming through from the academy. There's 7 players I already spoke about already. I will be doing a stream tomorrow morning where I'm going to be giving you guys an in-depth look and a little bit more explanation on the different players who are coming through from the academy. So stay tuned for that. It'll probably be around 10:30 in the morning tomorrow, so you guys could be interested in that if you guys want to know about the young players that are definitely going to be featuring on the tour and possibly in the first team as squad players next season. Stay tuned for more information. Team Talk have revealed that the Red Devils have their eye on Hull City's dynamic winner, Jaden Philogene. He took the championship by storm last season and emerged as this club's top scorer. The 22-year netted 12 times and provided 6 assists and was in the top 5% among his peers in the championship for shots, dribbles, fouls won, and touches in the opposition box. Jaden Philogene race. He did not shirk his defensive duties either. His mature displays have meant quite a long list of suitors are chasing his signature, including clubs from Premier League and Barcelona. However, the attacker is set to stop the Catalan Giants in favor of a move to the English top flight, where he's determined to prove that he can excel at that level. He was sold by Aston Villa last summer, but currently Tottenham Hotspurs, Crystal Palace, and Everton are eyeing a summer move with the Hull, hoping to earn between 18 to 20 million pounds from his sale. The Old Trafford side are prepared to blow their competitors out of the water in order to land the England under-21 international. Manchester United could be ready to obliterate their rivals in the change for outstanding championship talent this summer after TT learned of their interest in the player. Jaden Philogene is one of the most sought-after names this summer and has already seen a move to sign him from footballing giants Barcelona. United ready to win the race. Sources have listed 3 other sides who are keeping tabs on this situation, the first being Tottenham, who are keen to add more talent and back manager Ange Postecoglou. Crystal Palace also like Philogene and see him as a good replacement for the outgoing Michael Olise. Everton are also looking at him and think they can make a move before the window closes, but are cautious about spending over the odds as they are currently undergoing a takeover. Manchester United sources say he is a name that has been discussed at Old Trafford. There are no major moves to bring him in the English Giants yet, but he's a player on the radar of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the team. Able to play on both wings, Philogene is most adept on the left. And with Marcus Rashford's future up in the air, a move for the starlet makes a lot of sense. Whether he's ready for the step up in quality remains to be seen. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Guys, if you might want to check him out, see some of his comms online. I've watched 2 of his games back so far in the comms that I've been watching, and I feel like, you know, he's interesting. He's definitely dynamic. And, you know, he might be able to make the step up. It might be interesting to see whether we land his signature or we really make a move for him in any way, shape, or form. Right. But let's get into the major story, guys. And we're going to talk about Jadon Sancho because it's last but certainly not the least. You know what I mean? And tension on Juventus are on alert. Because you know what? Jadon Sancho is making a fuss. I don't know for what, but let's hear the story as we get into this really quickly. Juventus are hoping to take advantage of the tense situation between Jadon Sancho and Manchester United to get a deal done quickly. The interest in the England international goes back many weeks, but there are concerns that the price tag was too excessive. And I'm talking about, we only asked for 40 million euros. You know what I mean, guys? They don't want to pay that for him. Neither does Borussia Dortmund. Now that Manchester United have officially extended the contract with coach Erik ten Hag, it means the likelihood of Sancho returning to Old Trafford is extremely slim following the tension between them. It's reported that today in England, Manchester United warned the player he must turn up to preseason training next week after a loan spell at Borussia Dortmund. Considering his contract runs only till June 2026, he could be sent to train with the academy kids right away from the main squad. This is not a situation anyone at Manchester United wants. Sancho is eager for the Juventus chance. Juventus are prepared to sign Sancho on loan with an option to buy, but do not want a permanent transfer to be paid up front. Manchester United paid 85 million euros to sign him from Borussia Dortmund in the summer of 2021, but the total breakdown in the report with Ten Hag proved disastrous. He's only 24 years old and can play a variety of wide attacking roles. Last season scoring 3 goals with 3 assists in 21 games for Borussia Dortmund. Now, he did not pull up any trees, but guys, you know, he's a very talented player in my opinion. And, you know what, guys? If Juventus are willing to play anything in the region of 25 million euros, I would take the deal with some add-ons over the next 2 or 3 seasons, and I would get him off the books. If not, I would give them a loan with an obligation to buy for 35 million euros. That's just me. I don't know about you guys, but if we're taking a loss, I would definitely take it on the chin, 100%. Today is the biggest team in Norway has changed to Bodø/Glimt. Yeah, they're very good. I've seen them play a lot. They are pretty good. They got some nice players. You know what I'm saying? They're dominating, and Rosenborg is a fallen giant. They ruled in the 90s. Well, you never know. There might be links with Manchester United and Rosenborg again. You know, we used to send players on loan there, if I'm not getting that wrong. Too many years of transfer talk failure, Mark. Let's wait and see. 100%, broski, 100%. You know what I mean? Unless they call Nunes and Gakpo. Yo, Sancho, yeah, I think they're gonna have a meeting on Monday. That's definitely the case because, as you know, guys, and I don't know if anyone is briefing you on this, Mason Greenwood as well will be returning to training on Monday, and they're all going to be set. All the players returning are going to be set for meetings, not only with Erik ten Hag but also with Jason Wilcox. So this information has been released. Both of them will be back in training. Now, whether it's whether to be seen which of them will be training with the first team if they are not both training with the first team, because in my honest opinion, I don't think the manager is going to hold a grudge. I think he might just having been training, but you know it will be an option where he decides if whether to get rid of him or not. If he decides to apologize, I don't think he's going to be forced into training with the youths. I think he's definitely going to be used in training. As you know, Man United's squad is already short, and they already added like 7 youngsters to the squad that's preparing for these friendlies. These friendlies are going to be, there's not going to be 2 teams this summer, guys. Just remember that. It's only 1 team. And all the youngsters who are going on tour are fighting for chances to be squad rotational players. Some might be there, and some might be, you know, go on loan. But it's left to remain to be seen after their performances this summer. Lend Sancho to Wayne Rooney until his contract expires. Well, I don't know. You know, maybe if you lend him to Wayne Rooney, you know, maybe Wayne can help improve his mentality because you know Wayne was a mentality monster. So, and one of the best to ever play, in my honest opinion, he was a monster. Whether on the wing, in centre forward, at Cam, Wayne Rooney was a monster, and he has a monster mentality, guys. So you know, you never know. You can see how it goes. But this has been the report from me to you guys. Just a bit of the rumbling going on, and you know what? I don't create the news, but I just report it. And guess what? If there's any updates coming on today, like any confirmations on any other signings that possibly could be done or terms agreed, fully agreed, and it's just for the weight of the official announcement and the medical, I will be bringing you the updates, guys. Of course, you know we're covering the Euros, and there are 2 more quarterfinals today. England is taking on Switzerland in the first game, and after that, the Netherlands will be taking on Turkey. Guys, stay tuned for more. Please join us later on. It's definitely going to be coming to you live at 5 p.m. UK. Be here and share in the fun with us, guys. You know how it is. Smash the like, subscribe, and if you're new, don't forget to hit those notification bells. And guys, drop your comments. Let us know about players that you might have seen that I might not have talked about, or you might never have heard any other YouTuber talk about, but you think might be a good fit for United. I will definitely do a scouting review for you guys. I hope you have a great day. Big up to all of you joining me. Thank you so much, KennyFANtv, Yali Malmeen, Richard Hawkins. Big up to you, my bro, Madhouse. Always great to see you, buddy. I hope you're well. I hope to see you more often, bro. You know what? You always come with some good comments. Big up to you, Stephanie Griffith, MVP of the Man United space. The major mod, number 10. That's the number you wear as a mod, number 10. Big one. Maestro in the building. Hope you're well. Big up to you, my brother GB. I was on time today. So I hope you did, you know, you didn't have to laugh at me about the Trinity clock. I got your batteries, and I will catch you guys later. Nacho I see you sometimes, and I see you whenever. I hope you're well, and I'll catch you later, my brother. Big up to you guys. Abidilo, you might have a different view on some of the players, but it was good, interesting to hear your opinions on the players because I like the majority of them that you suggested. I hope you'll be back on the next stream. Mental ball game. Hope all is well. We'll be waiting to see you at the start of the season as other panelist as well, more regularly. You know what? It's been fun having you here. I haven't seen you in a while. Big up to all of you guys, and I'll catch you guys later when we do the live coverage of the next quarterfinal of the Euros. And it will be a fun game to watch because, you know, it's the final rounds, guys. It's coming to the climax. And, you know, although Germany, the host nation, went out yesterday, as well as the Portuguese and Cristiano Ronaldo, there's still other dreams that are alive, and they're going to be fighting for them. So let's, you know, see it, chat along. Which teams you support, drop it in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking, and we'll be out. Catch you guys later.